What's up, guys? Welcome back to That's Sowdev. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you. We got some tea to get into today. But before we get into the tea, make sure you go ahead and follow me at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else. Now, let's get into some tea. You know, I am disappointed, but not surprised. I can't be surprised. You know, I saw a headline. I think it might have been New York Times. They said, America has decided to go in a different direction. This represents a shift to a different America. And I couldn't help but wonder what was so different about it. What's so different that we haven't seen before right now? The racism, the hatred, the homophobia, the transphobia, everything under the list. What's so different about it? Was it not here before? Or did we just keep sweeping things like that under the rug? You know, it's one of those things where, again, I saw a tweet. It said, you know, Black people have been through so much. And Black people know what is to come. However, this is going to be something so extremely different for people who aren't us, and those that will be impacted by the decisions millions of Americans have made. And you know, I keep seeing so many things. We can still disagree and still love one another and still be friends. Let's discuss that. I would like that to be the first thing I discuss. Now let me tell you something. A difference in morals. We cannot debate that. That is no. It's not up for debate. People who are not impacted by this and who have voted for Trump, those people. Oh my goodness. They can't put themselves in the shoes of those of us who will be impacted. They don't have the capacity. How on earth would they know how it would feel as a Black person to walk around in Trump's America? And God, do not bring up, well, this Black person so-and-so and so-and-so and so did so-and-so and so, they voted for Trump, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something right now. If that same Black person who voted for Trump got shot in the street, he'd still just be another Black person at the end of the day, even though he voted for Trump. Most people don't give a fuck about these people until after all is said and done. Well, yeah, we got Black Trump supporters. Meanwhile, we'll turn around and call you a nigger. So let's not act like these people give a fuck about them. These are pawns. They call them coons. Black people have been suppressed and oppressed for God knows how long. We need to be fucking for real. A lot of these people should know better, but they do not. We have not had the same opportunities. Hell, we have not even had the same access to the quality of education. Racism is systemic. And these people are victims of that. So because they are blindly loyal right next to you, It doesn't validate anything for you. It's amazing. The people who say, well, we can disagree with each other and still be friends. No. We can't. You voted for somebody who wants to give the police immunity, and this was brought up in the wake of a black woman being murdered, another one of us being killed senselessly and violently. That is what you voted for them to kill us and keep getting away with it without consequences. You think we can be friends after that? What if it was your friend that was shot in the street and became a hashtag? Then would you care? Is that what it would take? Oh my goodness. I sit here and I think about so many people who I'm now disassociating myself with because I can no longer look at them the same. You have a president who says he wants to end the Department of Education, which isn't a shocker because look at the percentage of people without college degrees or education voting for Trump. It's overwhelming. And look at the people who have masters and above in the opposition. Just look at the numbers. They want people dumb to blindly believe them. Trump, out his mouth, said that if he were to run for president, he would do the Republican Party because they believe anything off of Fox News. And he proves you to be fucking right. It's absolutely amazing. A full blown out list of Project 2025, and people have just been alerting them of what their plans are. And Trump says he doesn't know about blah, 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 just for him to come out the next day after the election and endorse it. Can you believe that? Can you believe these people have been fooled? Actually, no, I can't believe that they have been fooled. I am convinced they've known all this time and didn't give a fuck about Project 2025. The sad reality of it is that a lot of people who voted for Trump have the ability to minimize this to simply being about voting Republican or Democrat. This doesn't boil down to your choice of party. Let's not be mistaken. MAGA is a cult that infiltrated the Republican Party, and they want to infiltrate the government. And now they have, with unchecked power. You thought 2016 was going to be hell? Buckle the fuck up. And I said, yesterday I was like, it's a dark day in America. Dark days are ahead. And people are going to suffer at their own hands. And it's going to be a lot of people who have voted for Trump who are going to suffer. And they have no idea yet. They have no clue. Because when all is said and done, you are your skin and how you talk to these people. That's all you are to them. You speak Spanish? Good luck. They're going to ask you why you're in America. They're looking to end birthright citizenship. And a lot of these people are going to be part of that. They're going to see. Somebody from Puerto Rico literally said that, and these were one of my friends from high school, said they voted for Trump for more money. I said, girl, good luck. And you have birthright citizenship. Not only are you about to be fucking out of here, baby, but you're not getting money. They don't care about you. They don't give two fucks about you. And your taxes are not going to be impacted. Trust, you don't make enough, baby. Not even close. So let's cut the bullshit. It's amazing to me. I saw a video yesterday where this guy was, asking Latino. He was like, do you want more immigrants coming over to this country? And this guy was like, no. And the guy was like, yeah, you came over, that's enough, right? And the guy was like, yeah. It's like, damn, you really are your own worst enemy. Like, damn, y'all hate yourselves? That's crazy. That's so crazy. There is, and it's a lot even with, you'll notice a lot of black people who may also be supporting the opposition. They may be people who don't directly align with their culture because they have some sort of experience with their culture that has kind of turned them against it. You have several people, and I've been one of those people where I've been called a white black person my entire life, and a lot of those people have turned that energy into a self-hate because maybe black people have not been the kindest to them in their past, and that trauma has driven them to self-hate. And that's very unfortunate. I think that everyone's worth saving personally. Not one person, not this person, not that person, not one specific. I think everybody in this country is worth saving. And I think that majority of people voted in opposition of saving everybody. And I think this country voted for saving their own personal interest. It's unfortunate that I've had to remove a lot of people that I have a lot of love for. I do. And I probably will continue to. But let me tell you, good God, removing them, it felt like peace, a breath of fresh air. I'm sure people are like, why were you still friends with Trump supporters to begin with? Because for some fucking reason, I just have this hope that people are going to be better, that people are going to be what I hope that they can be. And that's a big thing for me. I know, trust me, a bitch learns his lesson every fucking time. But I just feel like I don't want to give up that hope that people can be better and want to be better. But I'm constantly shown that they don't want to be. How sad. And I was just talking to my therapist. I was like, I've gotten to a point to where I've if I know you from a professional sense, in my life, then I'm just kind of like, you believe what you believe. We have a professional working relationship. When I'm on set or whatever, and I see certain people, I'm not invested in your personal life, you're not invested in my personal life. It's a hey, there, here and there on social media. We kind of leave it at that, and we go on about our business and our lives. But the people who are in my life for personal means, those are the people that I have removed, and I am okay with that. I'm going to go to bed sleeping good as hell, probably falling asleep to some goddamn Netflix show, turned on my side with my legs spread with that motherfucking fan on, girl. I'm going to sleep nighty night, okay? But it's a process, because I don't think you just click unfriend and you move on. For a lot of people, yeah. For most people, yeah. But where it hits home is that it's the people who really do hold weight in your life, who do not truly support you. And people can say whatever they want to, but we all know that the actions speak louder than words. And when you directly vote against human rights, a woman's right to choose, black people's right to breathe in justice, the right to education, a quality education of this country. Oh, let's not forget, out Donald Trump's mouth, he wants to close the Department of Education, and he quotes, will not give money to schools who want to teach about slaves and them being the ones. This country was built off their backs. Let's just be clear. Nothing they do or say will ever change that. But they don't want to teach that. That causes an uprising. And that doesn't go in their favor. People voted to go backwards in time. People voted for white America. And when I posted on Facebook yesterday, when I said, shit, what I just say? I said it like a second ago, bitch. Girl, see what I'm saying? My mind moves some element. Anyway, when I posted on Facebook that dark days were ahead, I had somebody end up laughing on it. We used to play soccer together in high school. But it wasn't shocking to me because I remember this person making so many jokes about fried chicken, watermelon, Kool-Aid, and all this goddamn shit. Every fucking stereotype and racist shit that you could possibly think of, this motherfucker said it. I remember his mom clocking his ass down about it. I do. It never made a difference. And I don't think that she could have done anything to stop him. And I know that sounds crazy, but there was no way she was stopping him. It was ingrained in him, but it visibly bothered her. I'll never forget it. Indoor soccer games, just racism out the goddamn ass. And it wasn't until yesterday that person laughed at my post that I just truly sat and processed all of the things that I had endured while living in Kentucky. Oh, could you imagine? Yeah, I lived in Kentucky in 2016, girl. Like, oh, hell yeah. The experience as a black person was terrifying. Nevada may be red right now, bitch, but let me tell you, more than enough people voted in opposition for this place to be well balanced, especially this very county with Vegas. So, you know, it's one of those things to me where it's just kind of like, oh my goodness, like, it's recognizing America for what it is to me. America has always been racist. Make America great again? When was America great? During white America? Is that what you mean? The progression in our country has made it great. Going back is not going to make it great. It's going to make everybody comfortable in this country who does not have a skin of color. Well, when shit goes down, they don't give a fuck who you voted for. You're Mexican. You're black. You're Puerto Rican. That is what they're going to see. And they're going to treat you as such. It's very sad to see people vote in their own self-interest. And like I said, many people, will suffer at the hands of their own doing. And unfortunately, the rest of us will suffer too. It's a dark day in America, but I don't think it ends here. And let me tell you why. I've always said this, and I've said this for years to my friends, and I never thought it would really happen, because when we have conversations about reparations, especially in terms of black people, I've never thought that we would be there. And we're obviously still not, but it's just kind of this idea that, I don't know, America has been racist from the jump, and that racism has just been swept under the rug. And when you try to address the racism, often you will get, oh, there's no racism here. Racism? No, not really. But it will be minimized so hard, even though it'll happen every day of our lives. And people will just deny that it happens. It's truly amazing. But this country cannot move forward unless it addresses its issues, that racism, head on. It can't hide like they've been. They've been hiding. Things have been swept under the rug. We haven't seen those races out and just, showing their faces. But now we're seeing that. Donald Trump has been digging up the racist soul of America for years. And I think he finally got it to fully show his face, to show its face. He's pulled out the deepest, darkest parts of America and has exposed it. And I was just telling my therapist, I'm like, like I said, America can't move on until it addresses it. And you can't address it when it's swept under the rug. There's no rug anymore. It's right here. It's in our face. It's everywhere. And now we have to address it. Now we have to face it head on. Head on. I'm very serious. So I think over these next 4 years, there's going to be such a shift in people's energy. Watch. Because now the lesson has to be taught to people who's not going to get it unless it's them. And right now they don't think it's them. They made it out of 2016 alive. I mean, he had a pandemic to cover half of his presidency. So people don't even know the full extent. But God, did I not miss waking up to bullshit every day to a potential war. God knows what these dictators are going to do to him. They know he's dumb as fuck. This was a loss not only for this country, but the entire planet. He doesn't care that sea levels are rising. He thinks, great, more oceanfront properties. And then what? Good Lord. Science exists for a reason. We have experts for a reason. Oh, we don't want to pay for this person's college with our taxes. Bitch, hello? Hi. You're not the only one paying taxes. So we would all be contributing to that. To future doctors, future scientists, and blah, 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 blah. That are going to help further this country. That is an investment in your country. In your health, in your children's health, in their children's health, in a future. But here we now have someone elected who doesn't believe in science, as we are seeing the strongest hurricanes that we've seen, where we're seeing the strongest weather patterns that we've seen. It's getting worse. And we don't have anybody in charge of the free world that is going to do anything about that. We are cooked. Yeah, I believe there's hope somewhere out there. Sure, look, as of right now, I'll see the hope at the top of next week. But right now, I don't want to hear all that shit. Shit's real. So get this. Yesterday, obviously, look, there's a lot of things going on. The students on campus, I believe it's Alabama, where a bunch of black students have received text messages about, welcome. You have now been invited to X and X plantation. Several students on campus and their numbers. How did those numbers get out? Who knows? The only people who could really have access to that are people in the schools. So did somebody leak it? Did somebody hack into? Like, how did these numbers get out? And why are these black students now getting text messages about plantations? Well, I don't remember where this other thing was specifically, but 7 students, and go ahead and look it up. 7 students lured this person based on their sexual orientation and spat on him, beat him, broke and bruised ribs. Get this. So yesterday, right, I'm on set filming, and this guy, he says, you look like Eddie Murphy, right? And that was the fourth person that said that to me yesterday. I look like Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cops. And I chuckled. 4 people said it. We acknowledged it. And I moved on, And I kind of do. Cute. But here's the thing, right? As a black person, I'm always compared to the next black guy that's in the forefront of their mind. Oh, you look like that black guy. Oh, you look like that black guy. Oh, you look like that black guy. Girl, if I had a fucking dime or even a penny for every time I heard that shit, I would legitimately be rich. I'd probably be a billionaire. That shit happens. Not all black people look the same. They don't. But that's just a general thing. And for, a lot of people who may not be black or who may not necessarily get that, they're like, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Because to them, it's just a joke. It's with an intent to be joked. Right? But the joke is you connecting this actor to my skin color and constantly bringing it up. He did it several times yesterday. Several people mentioned it. We chuckled about it. I did kind of look like him, and we moved on. But he kept making it a point to associate Eddie Murphy to my skin color. And it got to a point to where literally, this girl, I do not know this girl, never met her, never spoke to her, probably never even looked at her. She literally ate that man up. She said, you know what? Enough. Stop talking about him. Stop talking about stuff in regards to his skin color and stop calling him Eddie Murphy. Like, she went off. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that she did that because I was over it. But I'm on a set. I'm professional. I'm not here to cause a scene. I'm not here to do nothing but work, get my check, and dip. I'm not going to see you later. I'm not going to see you again. That's where I am mentally with that, right? So he ends up saying that she started shit and called her a bitch and blah, 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 because she started defending me, right? So he felt like he needed to get, defensive because she just made something out of nothing, even though she didn't. He was not aware of his actions, right? And now here we go, right? So obviously there's a whole beef going on in front of me about me and jokes about my skin color. I'm watching this white woman and this white man go back and forth about it. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. And I said to this girl next to me, I was like, can you believe they having beef over me? I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm not even in the conversation. I'm not even saying a goddamn word. I haven't said a word. I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. I'm watching them go at it. And, another girl ended up jumping in and eating him the fuck up. And I was like, oh, y'all some real motherfuckers. Love that. It was one of those things where this thing happens to me so much that I now pass it off as whatever type of minimal thing that it is. And I just move on because it happens so much in my everyday life. If I had to address every type of racism that I had come across, I would be just exhausted in every possible way. And the bitch already is. So I said the same thing when, after all was said and done, I, ended up was speaking to the person next to me, and I was like, I'm glad she said that. I was like, I was kind of getting tired of it. So it really felt good that she did that, and those other girls as well who stepped in and said something. And after the guy and the girls finished arguing, the guy said, well, Trump won. I'm okay. Because obviously he was getting visibly upset, and she was like, there's no need for you to get aggressive or act like that or feel some type of way. And he was like, I don't feel any type of way. He was like, Trump won. We're okay. I'm okay. And we're all just like, okay. Someone's clocking you for talking about somebody's skin color, right? And you make it a point to go out of your way to say you're okay, you don't feel any type of way about somebody calling you out and that Trump won and you're okay. What the fuck does that mean? Instantly, everybody was like, girl, okay. And that was the first time I experienced anything like that on a set. And obviously, it happened to be the very day that he became the president-elect. How insane. The very first day, you got students getting text messages about plantations. You got people being beat the fuck down because of their sexual orientation. You have people who are making jokes about people's skin colors, like, all on day one. These are real experiences, bitch. Not some shit that you just hearing on the news that you can just pass off all that shit. No, that happened. That happened. That was real. And that was fucked up. And, you know, after all was said and done, and here's where it gets funny before I end this up, right? So the person that I ended up speaking to that was next to me when I was kind of like, you know, I was getting tired of it. So she actually ended up confusing me for another black guy, right? Because we had filmed together and we hung out this whole time and we were talking it up and blah, 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 blah. And there was another black guy that happened to show up as well. We were both dressed as nice, but we were dressed differently. You know, obviously we was eating, we had style. Girl, be fucking for real. Anyway, so she ended up thinking that I was the other black guy instead of the other guy that was hanging out with her. And I was like, huh? Anyway, also, funny enough, right? The person that was also at the girl, anyway, girl, I can't speak. Hold on. So the girl that confused me with the other black guy, right? The project that we were filming at for that specific thing where we filmed together, the person who is in charge of hyping up the audience and, you know, making sure everybody's energy is hyped in between takes and all of that stuff, he also confused me with the other black guy. So it's just the general thing that people kind of think that black people look alike. B, like, you know what I mean? Like, bitch, connect the dots. That is such an apparent thing that I just brush it off as like it's nothing. Because if I addressed her and said, no, I'm not that black, I'm the other black guy, and then imagine me addressing the guy who was hyping up the crowd at our last project that we filmed. Please imagine if I had to address that. And then I had to address this today. And then I have to address the person that's looking at me in the store thinking that I'm stealing because I'm black. And then I got to address all the eyes in the room because I just walked into this place where all the white people. If I have to address every fucking thing, I'm going to have no breath left to live, bitch. Well, be fucking for real. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Black people are tired or exhausted. We're tired of telling you what's wrong and what's right and blah, blah, blah. We're tired of giving you bitches the education. Go look that shit up for yourself. Like, oh my goodness. We tired of doing shit for y'all niggas because y'all don't do shit for us. Black people don't have no true ass allies. Generally speaking. We fight for everybody's causes. No one fights for us except ourselves. In this election, probably radicalized the hell out of black people. And I don't think people realize the intensity of that. Because when the mass deportations come, that has nothing to fucking do with us. Well, it doesn't. And when it's the people who voted in opposition, when they're going to be the ones that are also getting deported, when Trump also fights to end birthright citizenship, which they introduced also, side note here, they introduced a bill on election day to lower payments of Social Security and things and such. Please go look that up yourself. So, hello, bitches have voted against their own self-interest, and they're going to see what it's about. And look, The whole situation in Gaza, you've now fucking lost me. You're now on your own with that. Sorry, but it is what the fuck it is. Because too many people push the idea of a third party, and I've also called several people out on it. Speaking of, Lauren Haregi being one of them. I love her. She's my Fifth Harmony girl. But she spent so much time demonizing the very candidates that she needed to save us from this exact thing. She spent so much time. Well, I'm looking into third parties and investing in blah, blah, blah. You should too, blah, 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 blah. Got all these people ready to go to a motherfucking third party. And now you've got these people genuinely voting third party and it's splitting votes such as swing states. Losing swing states because of the split vote. And obviously, we know Jill Stein is in Russia's pockets. Let's not act like she's not. Russian bomb threats on election day. Trump ties with Russia. Musk ties with Russia. Oh, come on. Russia got that motherfucking fiddle and they playing it. But anyway, you can focus on the stuff that they want to put right in front of your fucking face. Yes, while it may mean something in the moment, it is also a form of distraction. And I hate the idea that I feel like MAGA Republicans, they do this thing where we've brought woke to a definitive term, right, that represents something, and now they use that and they call it the woke mind virus and stuff like that. They twist it around to mean something so negative. Being woke means you are paying attention. You see the things that are going on that other people are overlooking. And now they use it in a sense to where, what? They can use it for transphobia, other forms of hatred. They ran a whole campaign on flipping the good that people used and turned it into negatives, into hate, and gave it platform. Watermelon jokes, Puerto Rico trash. Are you fucking kidding me? And people still voted for that. And people think you can still be friends after that. After all of this. Hell no. It is a sincere fuck you. Love thy neighbor. Absolutely. Go to that neighbor over there and ask them to love you, bitch. Look, the reality of it is, I don't have any hatred for anybody walking on this fucking earth. I don't. You know how exhausting it is to hate people? Be fucking for real. Hate is a strong word too. I strongly dislike a lot of bitches. Trust me. And I have decided to distance myself from a lot of people who I am close to. And that is something that I have had to come to terms with over the course of this election. Yesterday made it real fucking easy. Real easy to decide what's right to me. Dark days ahead, guys. I'm very worried about people's health care. My mother is going through breast cancer right now. Her health care is at risk now. It's unbelievable. The amount of things that we now have to fear. And what a privilege it is to not have to be so afraid. You have the ability to live a normal life today and yesterday. But yesterday, so many people seen so much hate that it made them crawl into a hole. So many people committing suicides. That is not normal. Especially in response to an election. People do not understand the weight and the severity. And as I said at the beginning of this podcast, they can't. How can they? They're white people. They're never going to have the black person's experience. Well, it's very unfortunate. I've seen also what black people being in white spaces can do to them mentally. I had one of these people who said, well, I didn't really understand what Kaepernick was kneeling for. And that's when I was just like, you want to know what? Whatever. And I also didn't even judge him, because I'm like, you're a victim of the system. And it's very fucking unfortunate. And that would be 10 times different, because I would have probably more understanding for a black person, a person who's been a victim of the system and systemic racism, than I would anybody else who isn't black or who is white, to be honest with you. Somebody who isn't a minority, who would not be, again, a victim of the system. Because I'm just like, damn, you're dumb as fuck. But I do really feel bad for you. You don't even know. You don't even see it. And you're embarrassing. And these white people are just waving your ass around like, you know, like, bitch, like, oh my God, a whole pond. A whole fucking pond. Like, it's really giving Candace Owens. I can't. Anywho. Look, y'all. America is going through a dark time. We're not truly going to know what this is going to do to us. But probably for the next 50 years, we will probably be fighting something. And that's the rest of a lot of people's lives. The rest of a lot of people's lives, they're going to be fighting. The rest of a lot of people's lives, they have less rights than their parents. I would say that this can't be what America is, but it is. And like I said, this is the lesson a lot of people are going to need. And unfortunately, we're going to have to suffer with them along the way. But I'm telling your ass right now, do not hit no fucking black people up for none of y'all motherfucking causes. Hell no. You on your own. Sorry, buddy. No shade. And people from Africa is like, Africa's close. Girl, y'all got bigger fish to fry. Okay? We'll figure this shit the fuck out. But genuinely, y'all got bigger motherfucking fish to fry. Down. So no shade. Don't nobody care. Anyway, y'all, that's really all I have to say today, honestly. You know, I had to really think about how I wanted to approach something like this, and I'm actually glad that I didn't do a podcast before the election, because, you know, obviously I didn't want to go on about political means, but now is probably the time for people to really be using their platforms. America has voted for a quote-unquote a new America. And we're going to be seeing the effects of that probably the rest of our lives. This is not a TV show. This is not dramatics. Bitch, nobody said action. We dead ass. We're just now seeing the effects of Trump rolling back food safety regulations. You have Lunchables recalled. You have burritos recalled. You have waffles recalled. You have deli lunch meat being recalled. These shits having all types of shit inside of it that will harm and kill you and make you sick. And a man who got brain worms from drinking raw milk is overseeing public health and women's health. While black women maternal rates are high as hell. What the fuck would a white man know about that? And how would policies in any capacity represent that group? Policies made by white men to represent minorities, people of color, black people. Don't group us in with people of color no more. At all. were black. Period, point blank. Hear me when I say, black people have been radicalized. And us right now, the people right now, who are old enough to vote, who are old enough to fight, oh yeah, about 90% voted for Harris in regards to black women. 70-80% black men voting for Harris. Yeah, we showed up. We showed up and we did what we needed to do. We obviously have a lot of things to address because a lot of black men voted in opposition in some key areas, and we need to address that. But overall, black people really, they showed up. And the only people who have us is us. I was born for such a time as this. And the fight doesn't end here. It's going to keep going. Our ancestors. I know some of them turning over and they fucking crazy, but I also know some of them are like, look, we fought for you all to have the ability to even keep fighting. There are some people who have receipts when they had to pay to vote. Speaking of free and fair election, bitch, what about the 18 million votes at? Anyway, I'm just asking. I don't give a fuck if the result's still the same. You need to find those fucking votes. Because there's a lot of questionable shit going on. Again, bomb threats from Russia the day of the election. In key swing states. Elon Musk doing a competition, giving away $1 million to people in Pennsylvania. Like, Elon Musk's interference with this election, while being somebody who was here documented while going to school and then dropped out of school and then getting properly documented, so he was an illegal immigrant, to interfering with this election. Isn't it interesting? You have an illegal immigrant who just interfered with your election, but you're worried about voter fraud from illegal immigrants. That is just not happening. How sad. How sad. The man said that they were eating the cats and fucking dogs, and majority of America decided that they were okay with that. They were like, you know, yeah, y'all like eating cats and dogs. Oh my God. That's why they want to close the Department of Education. You bitches are dumb. Oh my goodness. This is not a quote unquote new America. This is what America has always been. Let me repeat that. This is not a new America. It is the America it has always been. The soul of racism and hatred has been dug up from the seams. And we're going to be seeing the impacts of that with unchecked power. May God help us all. Honestly, that's all I have to say for today, though. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. What a heavy one, but a necessity. It was needed, and I'm honestly glad that we were able to have this conversation together. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in to the That's So Dev podcast, where you stay true and you stay you. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms at That's So Dev on Twitter, Instagram, and literally everywhere else, including YouTube. If you're streaming over there, give this video a like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Take care of yourself. Drink some water. Eat some good food. Get your favorite snacks. Go stream Outer Banks Season 4. Go watch your favorite show. Go snuggle up next to your dog. Girl, get you a joint if you need. I don't give a fuck. Take care of yourself. Okay, guys? And I will see you on the next podcast. Peace.